Welcome to the Level 1 Lounge, where we give our uneducated take on anything and everything gaming related. Strap in, grab your controllers, because we are going to talk about what our year looked like for the year of 2025. I'm your host for this week, the Irish Bandit, one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. I am being joined always by my two incredible co-hosts, Agent Maverick 86, Rider Pride 639, and we are being joined this week by the one, the only, straight from the In My House Pro Wrestling podcast. We're being joined by Phil Spencer Jr. himself. Gentlemen, how are we doing this week? Good to be back. It's been a while since we've done an episode.
Well, we did one last week.
Well, we did a live episode last week.
Live-ish. Which sucks I couldn't be there for it.
You can go back and watch the highlights of that. And what a interesting show that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, mediocre.
I'm trying to keep. Well, no, it was still a good episode once we got the tech issues fixed.
Listen, Xbox is incredible. That Direct was incredible. You guys know nothing.
It was good.
I mean, even as a shill, yeah, that wasn't their strongest outing. That's
I think we can all agree on that one. But we are not here to give our post-show analysis of the Xbox Developer Direct. We're here to talk about our 2025 and what we played this year. So before we get into that, we're going to get into our burning question, and that is, what was the most disappointing game you played in the past year? So we're going to start with, let's start with our guest, Phil Spencer Jr. What was the most disappointing game?
Most gaming.
Most gaming.
Most gaming disappoint.
Answer yes.
I mean, did that Ninja Turtles game I hated so much come out in 2025? I don't remember. But
Yeah,
did you play it in 2025 though?
Did you play it in 2025?
yeah, it's on my list of games played in 2025.
Then it counts.
Yeah, that game's awful. And I mean, I should have known it was going to be awful to begin with, so I'm not going to use that one. That's just like overall worst game I played for sure. And completed, so that's embarrassing too. I think the most disappointing game is South of Midnight. I think for sure South of Midnight is just like a case of really great art and music and not a lot of substance in actually playing a video game. It's unfortunate because, like, obviously high hopes. I think everyone was grabbed by that art style, and then showing the gameplay. Of course, we didn't get to touch it. You're like, okay, like this could be cool. Man. Everything they showed in those videos is exactly what you do in the loop over and over and over, and it is just not engaging. It does not change at all throughout your experience. I think like boss pieces were really great, but there is not a lot of those when you have to go, collect all the things, which I collected all the things. So I probably made that experience worse on myself by doing that. I should have done what people did. There's an actual option to turn off all combat encounters in South of Midnight. I think you would have a more enjoyable experience if you didn't have to do the combat part of South of Midnight. Like that story would be neat enough for you to see without actually having to use the combat. But yeah, again, not like some AAA huge game. They never said it was. It came out at a budget price, even if you didn't get it on Game Pass. It underwhelming coming from the Xbox camp over here.
Interesting, but very valid. Okay. Agent Maverick, what was the most disappointing game you played last year?
Man, words from your mouth flow not good today.
I know.
So
I
agree with Phil Spencer Jr. about South of Midnight. It was mediocre. It was okay. I actually have one that, in my mind, topped the disappointment than that for me, which was there's a game that I was really excited for last year, and I couldn't wait to play it, jumped on it, and I went, oh no. That was Lost Souls Aside.
DNF.
Yeah, I absolutely DNF'd that one.
You were hyped for that one.
Yeah, and the thing is, the gameplay was fine, but it was not what I was expecting for starters. And when I did play, then when I did jump in to actually play it, it was a disappointment. It was nothing with what I hoped. So that is the one that I'm going to go with this time around. Like the mechanics were okay. The story was there, but it was lacking substance in my mind, and I definitely DNF'd that one. And I wish I could get my money back for that one.
All right, Rider Pride.
All
What
right,
game
so
disappointed you? I'll keep my words short.
Yeah, the game I played was a little bit of an older one, and Mav will probably give me a bit of flack for this, but the one that really, really disappointed me the most was Days Gone. that one was almost an instant DNF for
Wow.
me. The controls on that game were terrible. Like trying to get my bearings, trying to keep things straight, trying to go through even the crafting wheel was so unbelievably frustrating that I didn't even make it an hour into the game before I turned it off and uninstalled it.
Oh my god!
It was that bad. So
just for the record, to anyone that's been watching this, Days Gone is one of my favorite games. It's not on the top 10, but it's up there. That hurts.
So yeah, that's the one that really disappointed me because and that's the reason why I wanted to play it is because you hyped it up so much. And I've seen other videos of clips and things like that from other content creators that have played it, and I'm like, you know what, maybe this is something I would enjoy. I loved Left 4 Dead, I loved zombie survival games like that. I'll probably enjoy Days Gone. Yeah, didn't even make it an hour, and that one was immediately off the system. No, let's make room for something else, like Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, real video game. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the one that just disappointed me the most last year.
Chewy, when you watch this, clip Maverick's disappointment about Days Gone, please. We'll use that again.
That'll be fun.
The heartbreak.
The game that I played last year, it didn't so much disappoint me. It was just, it left me feeling weird and just kind of gross afterwards.
Nice.
And that was a game that was a PC game that came out in the 90s called Harvester. The acting in it was above an adult movie. All right. That's what I can. The acting was like right above there. The chemistry between the two leads just wasn't believable at all. The love scenes, it was the same one he used twice, was just awkward. The getting into the actual gameplay, the movements were kind of clunky. The whole story itself went off the rails so quickly. About this, well, it's an over 30-year-old game. I'm not spoiling anything. About this guy trapped in a virtual reality simulation of a town in the 1950s that was like something out of Leave It to Beaver. It was just off the rails insane. It left me feeling weird, and I felt like I needed a shower with bleach after I finished it.
Like, oh no, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I finished it. It was, it did have its fun parts, but overall, it was just, it's not one that I would return to anytime soon. Like, there's a lot of games that I would return to, like a lot of the games on my top 5 list for the year, I would return to over and over again. But this one, no, I'm done it. I will never touch it again. And that's it. The only thing I need to do now is like maybe uninstall it off my Steam account. No, that was the one for me. It didn't, like I said, didn't disappoint me. It just left me feeling weird and gross afterwards. And I'm glad I played it. I will say that much. I'm glad I played it, but I'll never touch it again after playing it. So that was my most disappointing of 2025. So let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this episode, and we'll grab the system is powered up. Let's grab our controllers and let's get into the main event here, talking about our top 5 favorite games that we played in 2025. Now, they don't have to be from 2025. You just have to have played them in 2025. So a lot of the games on my list are not going to be from 2025. They're going to be from way past. So let's start off with Age Maverick. What is that your number 5 for the year?
Doom: The Dark Ages. is number
Nice.
5. Yeah.
A Doom
have-
game is in my top 5 too, but
Yeah. I'm going to guess 2016, but we'll get there.
yes, we'll get there.
No, Doom the Dark Ages was my number 5. It was exactly the type of game I needed at that point in time. And it wasn't as brutal, it didn't have the brutal combat as Eternal did, which was kind of nice. And everything was clearly marked for collecting and going after all the collectibles and stuff too. Obviously, that's not the main feature. The combat, of course, in any Doom game, and the music. When that music drops, I mean, it's just a blast. I had so much
Literally.
fun with it. The the introduction of the shield was really nice to be able to do some parrying as well, and have it as an additional weapon to throw as a saw blade basically as well, and rip people apart. It was fantastic. And the variations that you had for melee weapons, honestly, the dragon riding felt a little tedious at times, I'll say that. And also with the mech fights once in a while were a bit much.
We could
But
do without any of that in that Doom game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, outside of that, you look past all of that when you're boots on the ground, gun in hand. Oh, it was awesome. I had so much fun with it. So that was my top 5. My 5th one.
It's all Doom. 1 through 5 is Doom the Dark Ages. He loves Doom.
Yeah, I don't blame him, honestly. But all right, Phil Spencer, what was your 5th favorite game of the year?
I
Weird
didn't
game
factor in stuff like, I'll quickly say, I played Cyberpunk in 2025. That game is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I'm happy I waited till it was in a state where it's all working
Playable.
and the 2.0 stuff is out. Yeah, that game is absolutely phenomenal. Metaphor is another game I played early in the year. If I would have factored that in, that would have probably been at my number 5 spot. But I just went all 2025 games. Also, Indiana Jones, it came out
Indy was
late.
so good.
It's an incredible video game as well. My number 5 from games out in 2025 that I played was Expedition 33. As much as I don't glaze it like the rest of the internet, yes, Expedition 33 is a great video game. It is very much so an experience you want to have. I don't think Expedition 33 reinvents the wheel. I really think there's a light on that game that is just not true. Like, hey guys, these games have existed before. And it's sad because, like, especially some indie ones did the exact same thing. No one just played it. Didn't look as flashy. It didn't have the Jeff Keighley rub. But I also wasn't in love with the story like most were too. Like, I think both of those endings are the exact same thing, and they're both bad. Like, I just wasn't thrilled. But actually playing through it, like, the systems in that game are what keeps you there. Like, I wish there was more of the combat to keep you there. Because, like, I could have New Game Plus, but I was able to complete the thing without going into New Game Plus. But I think the combat is really a driving factor always. It's what keeps you there, and it is incredible. The Picto system, obviously.
We
variety
would
of
have
what it is.
conversations during work and be like, dude, I can't stop thinking about Pictos. Like, how all the
All the
combinations.
combos? Yeah.
Yeah, like, how can I break this more? And I think
Yeah.
I applaud them so much for being like, yeah, go break it, find the build that will destroy it, right?
Yeah.
And it's
for them.
system wise, I mean, it'll be weird after, like in 10 years to see the kind of legacy that a game like that holds in the JRPG space. I don't think it's in that upper echelon of Japanese role-playing games or type. Like, sure, it's an FRPG. Like, shut up, world.
Role playing.
But I mean, for experiences in 2025, it's one worth noting. So Expedition was pretty easy to make the top 5.
Rite of Pride, what about you? What was your 5th favorite game of the year?
My 5th is actually the same as Agent Mavericks. It was Doom the Dark Ages.
I thought that was going to be your number. Oh,
You thought that was gonna be my number 1 or what?
no, I thought. Never mind.
But yeah, no, Doom the Dark Ages, yeah, absolutely sits in my number 5. Pretty much for the exact same reason that Mav said. The only reason why I wouldn't rate it higher is while the music was great, it didn't quite have that Mick Gordon feel to it. That's about the only real minor disappointment that I had for that particular game. But yeah, for the exact same reason. Like the dragon fight was, yeah, it was all right. The mech fight was, yeah, it was all right. Definitely could have done without it. Boots on the ground, getting those shield kills, jumping in and rushing in for those execution kills, is exactly what made Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal so good. And I'm glad that they kept that up with Doom the Dark Ages. So, yeah, DTA gets DTDA, I guess, would be is where my number 5 game is at.
DTA means don't trust anybody, jackass.
Yeah, yeah.
As for me, after my number 5, it has to. Well, my number 4 and my number 5 kind of switch around a little bit because I like both these games.
Gotta lock it in.
Yeah, gotta lock it in. Absolutely.
Lock it in.
My number 5 would have to be Ghostbusters video game remastered. I'm a huge fan of the the original 2 Ghostbusters movies. I did really enjoy Afterlife. I haven't seen Frozen Empire yet. I don't know if I'm missing much, but we'll see when I eventually watch it. But I love the original movie. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. This was like playing a movie, like out and out, like playing the movie. You had all the original cast members back. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Harold Ramis, rest in peace. You even had William Atherton, the guy who played Walter Peck,
Oh, yeah.
return. This was such a fun game. Pretty simple controls to it as well. You get to run around busting ghosts in New York City. What's not to love about it if you're a Ghostbusters fan like I am? So the story was kind of okay, which is, why it's a little lower on my list at number 5. But overall, I enjoyed it. I had a blast, haha, puns, with the game, and it is one that I would play again, easily, hands down. It was just for a nostalgia person like myself. It was just so much fun, and I really enjoyed myself playing it. All right, let's go back to Agent Maverick. What was your number 4 of the year?
This one, I'm gonna make a prediction. You guys are gonna be surprised it's not higher. But number 4 for me is Ghost of Yote. And as great as this game was,
No, I think it's very fair to say to have it number 4.
yeah, I mean, this one I had a lot of fun with. This was this one was the one that I was the most excited for last year. And it did live up to the hype. I did find it to be a little tedious with the open world this time, here and there, because it was like, oh, you want to be able to unlock abilities, you need to be able to unlock these weapons, you got to go through every single aspect of things, which is fine. But the storyline, it's as Phil Spencer usually says, sad dad. It's a sad daughter in this case. I mean, it's kind of what Sony's bread and butter, really. But it's a revenge story,
JRPGs,
and it was well done. The combat there's a lot of variation to it, and you have to be very thoughtful about how you approach certain situations as well, because you encounter somebody with a shield, you got to switch to a different weapon. You encounter somebody with a spear, you got to switch to another weapon. And it's a lot of jumping back and forth between weapons and having different tactics to handle different situations. And the thing is, your way of dealing with a situation is going to be different than how I would deal with it. So it's interesting to see how other people go through all of these different motions and stuff as well. Very, very well fleshed out design. And the one thing that I do really like is, for those that haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, I hope I pronounced that right. Probably not.
Shima.
I have a hard time with it too. So ain't alone.
It's not needed to play the first game. There's a little bit of reference to it, but it does take place 5 years later. So it's not for those that are just trying to get into the game and into that series. You can start there. It's not a big deal. And I don't mind games like that, where it's like, it's not a requirement to spend 60 hours in the previous game. So really well done, really fleshed out well. I loved the combat. I can't talk that one up enough.
Awesome.
I hope Assassin's Creed is higher than Ghost of Yotei.
Assassin's Creed didn't even make the list. It didn't even make the list.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Damn.
That's unfortunate for me, clowning on your love for Assassin's Creed, but it'd be interesting to hear your top 3 now.
Yeah, absolutely. Phil Spencer Jr., what made your number 4 for the year?
My number 4 of the year was Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Good pick.
Man, for those who haven't played Mario Odyssey, first of all, play Mario Odyssey because that game's incredible. That team did something so special with Donkey Kong and bringing Donkey Kong back into the forefront. It has all of the magic that Mario Odyssey has in its open world 3D platforming, and then they just said, go ahead and destroy the environment. Find your own path with collectibles. There is so much. Like, I have not completed because there are so many bananas and so many things you can dig up and find. I think if we were going on like what has the best ending of a video game this year, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza. And for like people who are watching and you're playing it, we're not going to talk about it here because that ending is incredible. It is so special to longtime Nintendo fans. You owe it to yourself to play a 3D platformer like Donkey Kong Bonanza. And considering the Switch 2's lineup at the moment, it is the best game I have played on the Switch 2. Hades 2 is pretty incredible though as well. But I'd say Donkey Kong Bonanza is the reason to own a Nintendo Switch 2.
Ryder Pride, what was your number 4 of the year?
Well, I mean, it's kind of fitting for a number 4 spot, but my number 4 game is Borderlands 4. I'm incredibly happy that I can actually enjoy a Borderlands game again because 3 was a bit of a disaster, both in the storytelling and for its replayability. I mean, they added DLC to the game to try and get players to come in, but I think the damage had already been done at that stage. People kind of left that one in droves. This one brought Borderlands back to what Borderlands was supposed to be. The story was actually really well done too, I have to admit. But they gave players what they wanted: tons of enemies to shoot, and the incredible dopamine hit when those legendaries hit the floor and you're ready to go pick them up. The fact that they even got like the fact that I even got a legendary at level 7, like they gave them to you that early in the game, just to give you something to strive for later on down the road. So like the fact that I picked up a double-barreled Gatling gun at level 7 and was literally ripping enemies apart within a half a second, and there's clips of it over on my YouTube as well if you ever want to see them. But yeah, I think Borderlands 4 kind of brought the franchise back to where it's supposed to be. The one thing I haven't done yet, I haven't gotten around to going to actually play the new boss raid that they added to the game recently. It's not really something that you can do solo, so I've been trying to bug my friends to open up their accounts again and play it again, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so my number 4 spot's going to go to Borderlands 4.
Is Borderlands crossplay? It is, right? I'd hop in.
This one is, yeah.
I would hop in to see that stuff. I think though, like, I'm with you. I think Borderlands is a great spot there. Like, clearly didn't make my top 5 list. I'll say that now. I had fun playing Borderlands 4 though, like a blast. There's a lot to explore. I wish they did their world events better, or better explanation of when those doors open, or better tells for that stuff, because there's some I didn't even see because it just doesn't tell you. Just maybe be there at the right time, but maybe that's gotten better. I haven't revisited the game, but I can agree with you. It felt like the most in line with Borderlands in a long time.
Yeah.
For my number 4, it is another movie-based game, but unlike Ghostbusters, I hated the movie that this was based on, but I loved the game itself. I loved everything about it. My number 4 game that I played in 2025 was Blair Witch. I played it originally over on my YouTube channel. I just played it for Halloween. Didn't really get that far into it. But then I went back, replayed it on my Twitch channel, and I had an absolute blast playing it the whole way through. I loved the mechanics of using the video camera to rewind time itself. Go back, you can raise trees that have fallen on the ground, or you can do all this other stuff with the video camera and just speed up or slow down or go back in time. Some of the maps got a little dark, and I don't like that in a game. When it gets too dark, you can't see where you're going, what you're doing. But other than that, the story was fantastic. The gameplay was great. The graphics, the music. Like I said, I hated the Blair Witch Project when it came out, but I loved this game. I thought it was just so well done, so fun. The I got like the bad ending, so I think I need to go back and try to get the good ending for the game. So, but at least I can say I finished it at least. So yeah, number 4 for me, hands down, was Blair Witch. Just great game. Loved it. Loved every second of it. So, Agent Maverick, what did you have for number 3? I'm waiting for him to say one game, hoping that it's on his top 5 list because I have a serious question to ask him. So, but
Sounds
go ahead.
great. Come on, number
All
3.
right.
He was lying to us.
This is one I think that's going to surprise Phil Spencer Jr. You mentioned narrative games, and this one took the cake last year.
Oh yeah.
Dispatch. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Yes, this game I went in not really knowing much. I knew that there was a couple voice actors that I really appreciate. Matt Mercer, the whole crew basically from Critical Role. This game blew me away. I shut the QuickTime events off just because I wanted to sit back and enjoy the episodes at time. It was kind of nice just to be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to need to press any buttons. I'm going to be able to see this fight play out with the way that I interacted with the characters and the decisions I've made. And you're still able to make the decisions throughout the course of the game. Like, you hand this thing to this character or whatever. However you're going to approach the situation. For a game that was not supposed to even be made, I'm so glad that it was. I really, really hope they come out with a season 2. And I had such a blast with it. Another one that I'm going to jump back into. In fact, I've actually been replaying it occasionally with my other half. Like, hey, there's not a whole lot going on. There's nothing that we're really watching. I'll play an episode of Dispatch. And I mean, even going, you've got these crimes that are going on. You got to dispatch your heroes to those locations. You're trying to make sure that you're picking the right ones for those situations. You fail miserably, or it's like, oh, I overdid it. It was like 100% success rate. They would have been better over here. And just that aspect of the game was so much fun. And the interaction with the characters and to see the relationships develop. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
So now that leads me to my question, Mav. Blonde Blazer or Visigal?
Oh, I went Blonde Blazer.
Nice.
100%. 100%.
Nice.
I do have to go back and pick Invisigal at one point in time, and it was kind of funny to see Laura Bailey's reaction when she found out that her husband Travis didn't pick Invisigal in the game. But no, it was a lot of fun. I made sure to pick Blonde Blazer. I don't know what it was. It was just the relationship just felt different with her, and it felt a little bit more fleshed out in my mind. So if anyone is hemming and hawing about that game, pick it up. There's so many different ways of playing it, so many different endings. It was a lot of fun.
That one's very high on my to get list. Like I've seen gameplay of it and I still want to play it, even though I know what happens. But it's also how you play it too, because it's like a Telltale game. So
yeah, for sure. For most aspects, of course. But yeah, the dispatching the heroes was the one thing was kind of interesting, and the comedy and the communication between the two, because there's one point it's like, oh well, there was kind of a competition that was going on, so they would beat each other up while they're going to this crime scene, and you could hear the interactions like, that just beat the hell out of me. What was she doing? And they're coming back injured they're coming back to HQ injured, and they're not participating in being able to fight the crime at all, and it's just a massive competition between everyone. It's hilarious, but yeah, I highly recommend it.
Awesome. All right, Phil Spencer, what was your number 3 for the year?
My number 3 is Ball Pit. Ball Pit is, man, I bought a Switch 2 and had Borderlands 4, and all I did was play Ball Pit.
I remember that.
It was just like, oh, I just spent, $700 on this new machine. All I could do was play Ball Pit until everything was done. Ball Pit is Brick Breaker meets Roguelite meets Base Builder. Ball Pit gets strapped to your veins, and it's over for you. When it hits, you're just like, much like Vampire Survivors did. When I had played for the first time, I'm like, oh yeah, this game's pretty fun. I could probably put this down. And then every DLC comes out, and I'm like, well, new Vampire Survivor stuff I got to play. Ball Pit just came out with new content too. I reinstalled it today because it's so simple. But anyone who gets the itch for roguelites, it right away you're like, oh, I got a new character. I better try it out, see how this synergizes with these builds, and then you're lost. Like hours and hours. I'm like, I'm gonna play one more, and that turned into 8 hours.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to give that one a look then.
Listen, Ryder,
It's addictive.
It is quite literally up your alley. It is the kind of thing you're like, oh, this is neat. And then I'll talk to you. You're like, yeah, I put 100 hours into this game.
I can't stop playing.
I think it's nice in a space too, because it's just like, here's your run. Walk away if you want. You're not tied, right? Narratively, there's nothing there to sink your teeth into. It's solely based off the idea that it's like, this is Brick Breaker. They made Brick Breaker in this day and age, and I'm right back there. Finding a way to upgrade this to make all of these bricks go away faster. And then I got to build my town. And the town building is overwhelming.
Yeah, you keep talking about Brick Breaker, and I'm thinking way older. I'm thinking back to like Arkanoid.
You're thinking the right thing.
Yeah.
It is outrageously fun and available on everything. Fun fact, if you have a Game Pass subscription, you can go ahead and play that on Game Pass.
Where can we get it? Where can we find it, Phil Spencer Jr.?
www.xbox.com.
There it is.
Stocks are low, so please go and get that subscription. But Ball Pit, play it.
Ryder, what was your number 3 for the year?
My number 3 was actually Marvel Rivals. It's just one of those games where like I was big into hero shooters, especially competitively, during the Overwatch era. So
you're into the hero shooter.
I was into the hero shooter of hero shooters.
That's right.
And then Marvel Rivals came along and didn't just steal Overwatch's thunder, it literally ripped it out of its arms and beat Overwatch to death with it. Because Marvel Rivals is incredibly fun, especially if you just love superheroes, if you love seeing superheroes interact with each other. That alone makes it worth it, especially now. It's gotten super popular again because Deadpool is now available as a selectable character.
Right.
And not only is Deadpool selectable as a character, he literally has all 3 modes of the Trinity in the game. He can be tank, DPS, and healer at any given time of a run. So, it's incredibly fun. I did place quite well. Within the first few seasons. I haven't played it in quite a while just because Arc Raiders kind of takes up a little bit more of my time, understandably so. But Marvel Rivals for me is definitely my number 3 for 2025.
My number 3 for 2025 was really my real first foray into the Borderlands franchise, and that was simply because I love the aspect of it being part FPS, part Dungeons and Dragons, with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This was such a fun game. Like everything about it. It just felt like when I started playing it, everything just felt like right. Like the weapons, the melee, the story was just so much fun of just getting to know the 3 characters of Tina, Val, and Fret, and then having Dragon Lord. just kind of wreck stuff. I'm trying not to swear here. I know
Shout
Ryder
out Will
can edit
Arnett, by the
both.
way.
Will Arnett, yes, I was going to say that. You had such a great cast as well, including Will Arnett, Wanda Sykes, Andy Samberg. Just, it was funny. It was fun. I love the gunplay in it because you aren't thinking about guns in a fantasy setting, like a medieval fantasy setting, and then Tina's like, "Oh, haha, there's guns anyhow, sucker." So, and it for me, I don't know about anybody else, but there were a few times, like near the end of the game, it got a little touching. Like you, I think of things on kind of a deeper level. So I'm listening to Tina's voice lines, and I'm hearing that she just wants people to hang around with and be friends with, and that got to me a little bit. So this was a great first run into the Borderlands franchise. I'm playing Borderlands 2 right now, and I'm having an absolute blast with that one. I was telling the guys before we started recording that I normally play, when I'm playing first person shooters, I'm usually playing on keyboard and mouse. I started playing Borderlands 2 on my new controller that I got, and I am just picking it up so quickly and having more fun playing with it on controller that I'm probably going to continue on through my gameplay that way. So, but everything else I think is going to be keyboard and mouse, especially when I get into, if I jump back into my number 2 game, which I'll talk about after everyone else. But yes, for me, number 3, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It was great. I'm still waiting to beat Tina in Borderlands 2, but I'm sure I'll get there. Because I'm only trying to save Roland from the friendship gulag. That was my number 3 for the year. So let's jump into our number 2 for the year. Agent Maverick, what was your number 2 game for the year?
So this was new to us. So I did get a little game in for Christmas 2024, and I jumped into it. It was the first game I played in 2025. A little RPG that was nominated for Game of the Year, Metaphor. That's my number 2 spot. Absolutely loved this game. I'm sure Phil Spencer is going to be going off on this game too, because I know that he enjoyed this one.
This game is better than Expedition 33. This game is just better than Expedition 33.
I mean, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm not going to give anything away. No, but
I look for what his number 1 is, gang.
No, Metaphor was definitely number 2 for me. I absolutely love this game. It was so much fun. I do want to go back and replay it because there's certain aspects that I realized that I really messed up with, which is building relationships and doing all the side stuff like, debates and that type of thing are so important to that game. And I missed out on a lot of it. And I really need to go back and replay it and do things properly. And that being said, I still love the game, and I want to give a lot of love to it, but I didn't give it the love that it deserved in order for me to be able to play it properly. So I do need to revisit again, and I know Ryder started playing it recently on stream as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's enjoying it too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
yeah, and
Not better than Expedition 33, though.
It is. It is. You guys are crazy.
That'll be a debate for another day.
I'm a huge fantasy fan, so to have that element in this game as well was amazing. As it was fantastic, well written, great characters, great music. Everything about this game was off the charts. I understand that it would have deserved Game of the Year. I mean, it went up against Baldur's Gate. I think that year.
Sure.
There's no way anything was going to beat Baldur's Gate.
Right.
That being said, it absolutely deserved the nomination. It was phenomenal.
No, it was against Astrobot, wasn't it?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Astrobot. Thank you.
Should have been
Baldur's
Bird Tree,
Gate.
man.
Baldur's Gate was the year
It was
before.
the year before. Yeah.
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 Yeah, Metaphor's an incredible video game. Now you're gonna get the itch, Rider. Now it's gonna happen. Now you're gonna just be like, man, these Persona guys know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Phil Spencer Jr., what was your number 2 for the year?
Guys, I flipped my number 1 and number 2 for this show.
You're supposed to lock in.
Yeah, it was locked in before I came
I-
down. My number 2,
My top 3 are locked in, so but
which was initially my number 1 when I first asked in the Discord. My number 2 game is Blueprints. Blueprints very well could have been Game of the Year. Tough year, right?
oh yeah.
Video games that make you think. It's not everyone's favorite cup of tea. Blueprints is an outstanding achievement in video games. Not only does it take something where you're like, puzzles in video games, pretty hard to do something fresh with them, right? It's just, we've seen a lot of them. To add a roguelite element and make it a tile builder to discover this mansion, all whilst my favorite part, game story not being exposition dumped through a cutscene to stop the momentum of play, and it all getting told in each room, through each puzzle, through each experience that you find and unlock. There is still so much more I have to do in Blueprints. Getting to the final room is not the ending of Blueprints. There's so much more to discover. There's still stuff where I'm like, that game makes you do math. Like,
Yeah.
you have to do math when you're playing Blueprints.
Well, I ain't playing because I ain't good at math.
It's just the idea too is just like, you're going in and you're like, this run is going to be a failure. It's just the cards weren't dealt fairly to you.
Yeah.
You are going to get stuck. Your run is going to end. Good news, you're going to find that thing that strengthens you for the next time. That's going to give you that extra little bonus to promote you to keep playing. Blueprints is like, I always say, a once in a generation game, because there isn't going to be another Blueprints for another 10 years. It feels like they're not coming out every day. Blueprints is something special, and Blueprints is something that everyone should be able to enjoy. And they made it easily to do so by putting it out for free on both Game Pass and PlayStation to say, you guys should play this, give it a go. Because the PC crowd are the only ones who are willing to pay for Blueprints. There's a subsect of like 1,000 dudes who are willing to spend money on Blueprints, and that's all they need. And they're just like, we want people to see this thing. It is so special. If you get a chance and want to get lost for a bit, I recommend it be with Blueprints.
Ryder Pride, what was your number 2 for the year?
So my number 2, we're going back to the Switch 2. For the very reason that I spent $700 on a brand new machine.
Number 2, right?
Number 2, Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, it's interesting coming into this particular game, especially considering that there was a lot of time in between a lot of the early games and the current generation of games that I missed out on. So there was a lot of stuff that I was very unfamiliar with. The whole Kalos region, for starters, because I never played, I think it was Diamond and
X and Y.
Pearl. Or no, sorry,
X and Y.
X and Y. Yeah, so I never played X and Y, so I was very unfamiliar with the Kalos region or the characters that were involved. I also never played Legends Arceus, so I never really got to experience the almost more live action battle style that Legends ZA offers. So this was a very, very different experience for me. But on the flip side of it, not only was it an enjoyable experience, it was really, really enjoyable to sit down on the couch and play it alongside Mrs. Ryder, my wife. So, I'd spend an hour or two playing it, and she would be enthralled with what I was doing. And then I'd be like, okay, you know what? I've had enough for now. You go ahead and play. And then I'd watch her play it, and I would still enjoy the game even though she was the one playing it. Because we each had different styles of play based on how we built our teams. So it's very, very refreshing. I think they did a really, really good job with this one. The new DLC is kind of, they might have missed the mark a little bit, but not terribly. The fact that they basically just said, oh yeah, by the way, you know all those Pokemon you caught? Yeah, here's another 180 Pokemon for you to go catch. Have at her. So, I mean, it's nice that they give you a lot more replayability in that. It sucks that you kind of had to pay for it, and the fact that they announced a paid DLC before the game even officially launched was still a little bit of a sore point for me, but I ended up buying it anyways because I knew I was going to enjoy it. So, yeah, overall from start to finish, the way you collect the Pokemon, the way you build your teams, having to alter your style from previous games to this game is an interesting change too. So that's why I selected Pokemon Legends ZA as my number 2.
for my number 2 of the year, let's crank that Mick Gordon soundtrack because my favorite, my second favorite game of the year was the 2016 Doom.
What
I
a
am
video
so
game.
glad. What a
What a
video game.
video game.
Exactly. I can say that about my number 1 and number 2, honestly and truthfully. I'm so glad I went back to that one because I got stuck at one of the last few bosses there was. I have a thing where if I can't beat a boss in like 2 or 3 streams, I put that game away because I'm just gonna get frustrated and I don't want to do what I did to this monitor, what I did to my last monitor after watching SummerSlam this past year, SummerSlam Night 1 this past year. But less said about that, the better. But I'm so glad I went back to that. I actually, I have a thing on my channel that I do, not right now because I'm doing something else, but I pick a random game off a wheel. And one day during my stream, it was like, okay, what game am I playing? Spin the wheel. Came up with Doom. Asked the chat, okay, should I play original Doom or Doom 2016? Chat picked Doom 2016. I'm like, oh, okay, gonna be more of the same. And I actually wound up beating that boss on that stream. It was like, holy crap. And there's still like a clip of it on my Twitch channel of when I beat it. So once I finished Blair Witch, then I went right back into Doom, like immediately afterwards. Because like in the same stream, I finished Blair Witch, then was right back into Doom. So played through that, finished it, loved it. Glad I went back to it. It was such a good game. The music is incredible, as it should be with a Doom game. I have a script written up for my YouTube channel for like my games that I played that I absolutely loved. Put Doom 2016 on there, and I think I said something about like the music gets you so amped up, gets the adrenaline up so high, you just want to run at a Mancubus with a chainsaw. So that, yeah, absolutely love Doom 2016. Fantastic game. Glad I played it. Glad I finished it. And it's one I would definitely, I have played from time to time again. So now,
It's the best of that trilogy. It's the best of that trilogy
well,
still.
I haven't played the other two, but yeah, I loved it. All right, we are down to our favorite games of the year. Agent Maverick 86, what was your favorite game of 2025?
Do I even really
that a
need to
cat?
say it? Do I need to say it? Really?
Leisure Suit Larry?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, that was my pick.
It's Expedition 33. Plain and simple. I know Phil put it at 5.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
put
going to
it at
argue
1.
it being a great game.
No, I love the soundtrack, love the characters. I had no issue with Gustav, as some people
Gustav's a
did.
bitch. I said it.
Ryder, don't edit that. That was awesome. No, but the voice acting was fantastic. The music was great. I just, and the system that was there for, the Picto system was fantastic once you understood it. And I mean, I love this game so much. I mean, okay, I'm not as good as Phil Spencer Jr. is for this. So where can we get it there, Phil?
You
Where can we play it?
you could have had a day one on Game Pass. But you guys think the price is unfair when great quality games like Game of the Year #1 spot Expedition 33s are on there. Oh, $33 a month? I don't want you people to come to Game Pass anymore. It's just for me.
Okay. So that being said, I did play it first on Game Pass, and I loved it so much that I did want to give the developers a little bit more love. So I did actually pay for the game, and I did buy it as well on PlayStation. So I did play it on both systems, and I've jumped into it multiple times. It's a fantastic game, and it's up there for. I gotta actually reevaluate my top 10 games ever made again here recently, because I mean last year not last year, the year before. Not my number one even got bumped off. I have a whole new number one game. I got to reevaluate that again, and I'm not sure I'll make number one, but it's going to be up there. But honestly, yeah, Expedition 33. I'm not going to say much more that we haven't already said multiple times on this podcast.
Hey,
Phil
Ryder,
Spencer Jr.
what's your number one game of the year?
Expedition 33, but I'll delve into something a little side point that won't take
Okay.
too much time.
All right. You know what your number one game of the year should be, Ryder? And it's not even on your top 5 list. It's shocking to me.
Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders is the game of 2025, guys. Blueprints had that spot. And then I realized I played 11 days worth of time of Arc Raiders and have not hated a single second of it. That thing has
That's
been
good.
consistently working. As much as I think their roadmap is light in months. I know Ryder could probably agree with me too.
Oh,
I am
absolutely.
yeah, like they are drip feeding this content. They are on it though, right? Like Ryder has experienced issues with cheaters. I have not seen any. I also, it's depending how I play, right? If I'm playing crossplay with people, I think I'm going to have more of an opportunity to see cheaters on that PC spectrum. When I am just playing with people on Xbox, we're crossplay off. So my console experience with other console players has been incredible. The idea that in this day and age, I wear a mic and actively talk to the people who are in the world is crazy. It is insane, the community around this game. It isn't always pleasant. We've all played online games. I have still been called words where I'm like, damn, we're still doing this. You're
Yeah.
still calling people these
Yeah.
names. Okay.
It exists.
But I like that there is a community and its matchmaking system so brilliantly done to know your aggression level. If you want to go guns a-blazing, you're going to get matched with players who are going to be guns a-blazing. There are solo games, I don't know if Ryder can vouch for this too, probably at this point. When you're questing, people are open to be like, hey, what are you looking for, man? Like, I think I saw this over here. Always something where they're just like, have you seen a surveyor? Do you know where this is? I'm like, yeah, just over here. Actually, I just saw one. Let's go do it.
Pretty much been my past week has been experience like that. Everyone's just like, hey, look, we just want to get stuff done. We want to collect stuff. We wouldn't mind shooting down a few robots here and there.
Yeah. Especially now with like,
Yeah.
I mean, projects in the new trophy system where it's like really pushing for like kill the arc. So when you're going into these games, the idea that people talk to you and they want to get this done together, amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And a game where if steadily done right, can last the 10-year plan they're promising. Like it seems like they've got a good idea of what they wanted this to be. Arc Raiders, every time I go in, even if I'm killed and all my stuff is gone, I'm still smiling. I'm like, well, better load up a free loadout and get back out there. Even though I literally just hoard purple everything. I have plenty of guns I could take out. But even to this day, I'm like, nah, I'll just go with a free loadout and try to build something up again instead of using this good stuff. When am I ever going to use the good stuff? I fought the Queen. I didn't even bring my good stuff out. Also, gaming moments, guys, the Queen. Fighting the Queen with a lobby full of people, a giant robot, all of you panicking to just crush this giant robot, incredible.
Knowing that it
Absolutely
can
incredible.
crush 20 of you at any given time.
It's insanity. If anyone was curious about Arc Raiders, don't fear that it is a multiplayer game. Don't let that be a deterrent in your experience in Arc Raiders, because it will find what you need to play with and put you in the right spot. And there's a great community if you want to be the PvE person, but if you want to get a little sweaty, that game does accommodate the sweatiness.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arc Raiders is my number one game of 2025.
All right, Ryder, why was Expedition 33 your number one game of the year?
It's not. It's
wasn't
actually
Arc
E.T. on the Atari. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, he got him! Underrated masterpiece.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, pretty much, yeah, to kind of expand a little bit upon what Mav said, yeah, the music was great, the gameplay was great, the story was great, all that stuff. It's a game that I still revisit every once in a while to play New Game Plus. Just basically, even just to go in, just to see damage numbers in the millions. It's great. One of the things that Phil Spencer mentioned is that it doesn't reinvent the wheel, and that's true, and I agree with it. One of the things that it does do, however, is it basically picks the wheel up and shows it to people to remind people that the wheel still exists. and that it's still viable in today's day and age. To have a turn-based RPG and then add things like the Picto system, where it's basically, all right, here is 150 different things that you can do with your 3 characters. Figure out the best combination you possibly can. And even if you can't figure out that combination, we're going to keep drip feeding you more items so you can equip more of those Pictos. So that way we can give you more opportunities to break that system and make those damage numbers go up higher. It's absolutely fantastic that they would do something like that. Also including like the parry and counterattack system. You typically don't see that very, very often in turn-based RPGs without a couple of more automated style of things where you have like certain items that will automatically counterattack for you, that sort of thing. But in Expedition 33, it's true, they did not reinvent the wheel for turn-based RPGs, but they simply reminded people that this particular style of RPG is still out there. Including even things like Persona and Metaphor. If you go back to remastered classics like the Lunar series, which are, I completed both of those games last year as well, which unfortunately didn't make my top 5, but they're still great games in their own right. That's why Expedition 33 was my number 1.
My number 1 game of the year not only is my favorite game of the year, it also cracked my top 5 favorite games of all time. When I finished this game, when I finished the DLC of this game on stream, I wept when it was done. Love this game from the very start, all the way through Minerva's Den DLC, BioShock 2. What an amazing game. Like, I'm not the biggest, I do okay at FPS games, but this one, there was just something special about it from the very beginning. Playing as a Big Daddy. Like, I love the first BioShock game. Didn't crack my top 10 favorite games of all time, but I still love the game. But you get to play as a Big Daddy. You get a little bit more of the lore of Rapture. Then when you get into the Minerva's Den DLC, what a beautiful story in that one.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so good, so mind-blowing. And like I said, when I finished the Minerva's Den DLC, I was crying. I don't care on my stream if somebody walks in or somebody comes in and says, "Oh, he's crying." I don't care. Games are artwork. They're supposed to make you feel something. So, yeah, BioShock 2 was just an outstanding game. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, like I said, not only was it my favorite game of this past year that I played, I know it's not 25 game, but whatever. It also is now firmly in my top 5 favorite games of all time. It was that good. I adored this game, hands down. There's not much more I can say about it other than I adored this game. It was outstanding.
Stoked to hear it. That Minerva's Den DLC is better than all of BioShock 2's narrative.
Oh, that Minerva's Den DLC was just fantastic.
Man,
I loved it.
BioShock 2, the game that confused everyone with why it was made. And then you're like, it plays better. Story-wise, it's definitely doesn't touch BioShock 1. But then they put out that Minerva's Den DLC, which blew the balls off everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That DLC is incredible. I'm so happy you got to that. But now you got to wrap it up. Now you got to play BioShock Infinite.
Oh, yeah, Infinite's coming.
That's my favorite of the 3.
Don't know when it's coming, but it'll be sometime this year. Don't know when, but
man, video games.
I know, aren't they great?
Yeah. No. People love to hate video games. They're more hated than loved.
That's true. That's true too.
Yeah, they're hated. High Guard available now.
So, does anybody have anything else to wrap
up?
Yeah,
guys, I played a lot of video games in 2025. I hope that trend continues.
Yeah, your 2025 list was quite extensive.
There's stuff on there too where it's like I didn't add arc raiders, even though I'm max level, and the stuff is done. Oh, Mario Kart World didn't get added either, but all of the single player component besides some missing collectibles in the open world. But yeah, there's video games, man. I got to
Frickin'
Pokemon.
Mario Kart World.
Pokemon, man.
Yeah.
It's too many side missions. Too many bad side missions in Pokemon GA. But
It wasn't even so much there was too many side missions. There was too many going. What was the point of that?
yeah, but I mean, I like the accessible decks. I really do. Like catching all of the Pokemon has never been easier, I find, than it is here. I also did not like Arceus. Like I did not like Arceus the way I liked Legends EA. Like I had a way better time playing that. I mean, I want more on my Switch. Metroid's up next.
Nice.
Yeah, I've already
one.
picked up my next adventure on the Switch because it was on sale for $14, and that's the Street Fighter collection.
Nice.
I'm super excited to play that.
Yeah, so much, man. 2026. I mean, hope for the same. I hope to play another 40 video games. What life I have. Chime off in the comments. Get a
I have to
life.
play at least 10.
Touch
this year.
grass.
Yeah, man.
I think it's time we put the controller down and turn off the console. So I want to thank you gentlemen for joining me here today. And we'll just go around the table quickly. And Phil Spencer Jr., where can we find you?
You can find myself and my two lovely co-hosts, Scotty Villa and UK Tom, over at the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast, available where all your podcasts exist. That includes YouTube. I don't post it there, but it is there apparently. But Spotify,
It is.
Apple Podcasts,
unsubscribed.
Amazon. Have yourself a blast. Royal Rumble is this weekend, so a lot to look forward to.
And videos of Irish Bandit Rob smashing his monitor.
There are no
Coming
videos
soon.
of that, thankfully. There are no videos of that, thankfully. Agent Maverick, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch once in a while. I will not be streaming this weekend. My other half has got some time off, so I am not going to be taking over the TV as much as I would like this upcoming week. So no streaming, but you can find me on YouTube. I have started to join the BookTube community because I have been reading more than I have been playing video games lately. So I'm going to be uploading a couple videos here in the next week about what I've read this month, and also going over a really beloved series as well that I finally finished. So I'm going to discuss my thoughts on that. But yeah, otherwise you can find me right here on the Level 1 podcast.
Love One Lounge podcast.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Ryder Brad, where can we find you?
Well, you can also find me over on Twitch, where my current game that I'm streaming and highly enjoying is the much talked about Metaphor ReFantasio. So we're having a lot of fun with that. We're going to play that one probably up until, I guess, today's the 28th. So probably up until next week. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Yeah, as of this recording, yeah. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined comes out on February 5th. So I'm going to try and sneak a stream in. A stream or two of that in before Mrs. Ryder and I take off to Mexico for a couple of weeks. So we're going to be looking forward to that particular trip. Once I come back, there'll be some more Metaphor. There'll be some more Dragon Quest. You can also find me over on YouTube, where I'm going to be hopefully slapping up a little bit more content there as well, including stuff like hardware reviews, which is going to include a new review for the headset that I'm wearing right now. Which you can get for a very, very reasonable price when you use code WRITER at checkout. # not a partner. But yeah, you can find some various hardware reviews, game reviews, let's plays, things like that over on my YouTube channel. And then obviously you can find me here on the Level 1 Lounge podcast.
And you can find me over on Twitch as well, where I stream every Thursday through Sunday. I play a multitude of games. Right now I'm playing Borderlands 2, Dead by Daylight, Chrono Trigger, and I've jumped back into Final Fantasy VII Remake with the streamlined progression on, which means I can go into God mode and just beat everybody for 9,999 damage, which is so much fun, which is a lot more fun than you think. You can also catch me over on YouTube as well, where I post all my VODs. You can find me everywhere on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Reddit, Threads, you name it, I'm on it. You can also, I am also an author, and you can pick up my books over on Amazon. You can get my novel Shade Falling and my storybook Mochi's Christmas over on Amazon through either Kindle e-reader or on paperback as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us. Stay talking to my books. I want to thank you all for joining us today for this week for this episode of the podcast. We will be back fairly soon with another episode coming down the pike. So for Phil Spencer Jr., Agent Maverick 86, and Rider Pride 639, I am the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. Wishing you all a great week, and we'll see you again on the next level. Take care, everyone.